Did you know that over 95% of Americans over 65 are eating the wrong kinds of nuts every day without even realizing it? And it's quietly causing weak, shaky legs that make it harder to sit down or stand up, achy joints, swollen feet and ankles, and trouble walking longer distances, constant fatigue, dizziness, and feeling like you just don't have the energy you used to? It sounds surprising, because we've always heard nuts are healthy for you. But here's the truth. Not every nut is good for your body after 65. In fact, some nuts can trigger silent inflammation in your muscles and joints, reduce blood circulation, leaving your feet cold and heavy, pack on extra pounds that put painful pressure on your knees and ankles.
4 nuts every senior over 65 should eat daily to keep your legs strong, improve muscle health, and restore your energy. 4 nuts you must avoid as they silently inflame your joints, throw off your balance, and make you feel drained. Make sure to watch until the end, because I'll also share how to eat nuts the right way, the safe daily amount, how to pick oil-free and salt-free options so you can enjoy their flavor while protecting your legs and joints. George's real-life story, age 70. George, 70, lives in a small town in California. A retired construction engineer, he's been enjoying retirement for 5 years. He used to be very active, fixing things around the house, gardening, and taking morning walks along the beach with his wife. But over the past 2 years, things started to change. George noticed his legs felt weaker, and it became harder to stand up after sitting for a while. His knees ached constantly, and every time he climbed stairs, his legs felt like they had no strength left. A healthy habit that backfired. George always believed that eating nuts was good for his heart and brain, so he regularly bought pre-packaged mixed nuts from the grocery store, usually containing cashews, walnuts, macadamias, and pecans. Every day he snacked on a small bag, thinking he was doing something great for his health. But over time, his knees became swollen and painful every time he stood up. He felt tired and dizzy, and his steps became unsteady. One day, he even tripped and fell while going down the stairs, frightening his whole family. When George saw his doctor, the truth came out. His nut choices were packed with industrial oils and high omega-6 fats. These caused silent inflammation in his joints and muscles. The extra calories and saturated fats led to weight gain, putting more pressure on his knees and ankles. Meeting a nutrition expert, the turning point.
Fortunately, at a local community health seminar, George met a nutrition expert. She explained that not all nuts are good for people over 65 and guided him to cut out cashews, walnuts, pecans, and macadamias. Replace them with pistachios, almonds, unsalted peanuts, and Brazil nuts. Reduce his intake to about 1 ounce, 28 grams per day, a small handful. Choose dry roasted or raw nuts with no added oils or salt. George was skeptical. After all, he had trusted those mixed nuts for years, but not wanting to rely on painkillers or end up using a walker, like some of his friends, he decided to give it a try. The results after 3 months. Just 4 weeks into the change, George noticed real improvements. Less swelling in his knees and less pain when sitting or standing. Walking felt lighter, no more legs like lead. His feet were warmer in the mornings, no longer numb and cold. After 3 months, George could climb 2 flights of stairs without needing to stop. His balance and dizziness improved by over 60%, according to his doctor. Blood tests showed much lower inflammation and cholesterol levels. George now says, "I used to think all nuts were healthy, but only when I switched to the right ones did my body truly recover. I feel like I've gotten 10 years of my life back." George's story proves an important truth. Eating the wrong nuts can silently cause inflammation, weaken your muscles, and lower your quality of life. Simply switching to 4 beneficial nuts and avoiding 4 harmful ones can help you ease joint pain, strengthen your legs, and regain independence in your daily life.
The science explained why nuts have such a big impact on health after 65. When we think of healthy foods, nuts are usually one of the first things that come to mind. They're packed with healthy fats, protein, vitamins, and minerals. But after age 65, the body's digestion, nutrient absorption, and metabolism change. This makes some nuts a double-edged sword. They can nourish your body, but also silently harm it if you're not careful. The nutritional value of nuts. Healthy fats. Many nuts contain unsaturated fats that lower bad cholesterol, LDL, and raise good cholesterol, HDL, which supports heart health, a major concern for seniors. Protein helps maintain muscle mass, reducing the risk of weakness and falls. Vitamins and minerals, magnesium, selenium, zinc, vitamin E, and B-complex vitamins boost immunity, stabilize blood pressure, and support brain function. Fiber aids digestion and helps prevent constipation, a common issue in older adults. Hidden risks of eating the wrong nuts. While nutritious, certain nuts contain compounds or toxins that can be harmful for people over 65. Aflatoxins in peanuts. Produced by Aspergillus mold during storage, these toxins build up in the liver, impair its detox function, already weaker in seniors, and increase the risk of liver cancer and chronic liver disease. High oxalates and carbs in cashews. Oxalates bind to calcium, reducing absorption and potentially leading to osteoporosis and kidney stones. The high carbohydrate content can spike blood sugar, dangerous for those with diabetes or prediabetes. Saturated fats in macadamia nuts. High in calories and saturated fat, which can raise LDL cholesterol, promote artery hardening, and trigger gallbladder issues. Medication interactions from pine nuts contain enzyme inhibitors that may interfere with the absorption of blood pressure medications, antidepressants, and blood thinners, commonly prescribed to older adults.
Pine nuts can also cause pine nut mouth, a metallic taste that lingers for days, reducing appetite and overall nutrition. The difference between raw and processed nuts. Salted nuts. Excess sodium raises blood pressure and causes fluid retention, leading to swelling, especially dangerous for those with heart or kidney issues. Sugar-coated or chocolate-covered nuts increase the risk of diabetes and obesity. Oil-roasted nuts. The oils can oxidize during roasting, producing inflammatory compounds that harm heart and brain health. Nuts can be great for seniors if you choose wisely. Some nuts are rich in omega-3s and powerful antioxidants that fight inflammation, protect brain cells, and lower the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Nuts high in selenium and magnesium support thyroid health, balance hormones, and boost metabolism. Certain nuts provide fiber and flavonoids that improve digestion and help relieve constipation. Safe nut intake and eating tips. Seniors only need about 0.7 to 1 ounce, 20 to 30 grams of nuts per day, roughly a small handful. Eating too much can lead to excess calories, indigestion, and belly fat. Store nuts in the fridge to prevent oils from going rancid and to reduce the risk of mold toxins. Chew thoroughly to avoid choking and to help digestion. Summary. Nuts are packed with valuable nutrients, but not all are safe for people over 65. Choosing the wrong nuts or eating too many can lead to chronic inflammation and high cholesterol, harmful drug interactions, liver and kidney toxicity, memory decline. Picking the right nuts and eating them in the right way will strengthen your heart, sharpen your mind, and keep your bones strong well into your golden years. 4 nuts seniors over 65 should eat every day. 1. Almonds, a friend to your bones and heart. Key benefits. Almonds are rich in calcium, magnesium, vitamin E, fiber, and heart-healthy monounsaturated fats.
They help strengthen bones, lowering the risk of osteoporosis and fractures, common issues for older adults. Magnesium ensures calcium is transported into bones instead of building up in arteries, helping prevent arterial stiffness and heart disease. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that protects brain cells and the cardiovascular system from damage caused by free radicals. Scientific research. Tufts University. Seniors who ate 30 grams of almonds daily lowered LDL, bad cholesterol, by 12% and increased HDL, good cholesterol, by 15% in just 3 months. Harvard study. Postmenopausal women who regularly ate almonds had a 20% lower risk of hip fractures. How to eat? 0.7 to 1 ounce per day, about 23 almonds, divided into 2 to 3 snacks. Eat raw or dry roasted. Avoid salted or sugar-coated almonds. Soaking almonds for 6 to 8 hours can make them easier to digest. Tips: seniors with dental issues can grind almonds or use almond butter to avoid choking or tooth damage. Store almonds in a sealed container in a cool place to prevent oils from turning rancid.
2. Walnuts, brain food and sleep enhancer. Key benefits. Packed with plant-based omega-3s, ALA, polyphenols, and natural melatonin. Omega-3s protect nerve cells, improve memory and focus, and reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Antioxidants in walnuts lower whole-body inflammation, supporting joints and blood vessels. Melatonin helps regulate sleep cycles, especially useful for seniors struggling with insomnia. Scientific research. UCLA. Eating 1 handful of walnuts daily improved memory and processing speed by 20% in 6 months. Spanish study. Seniors who got 15% of their daily calories from walnuts had a 45% lower risk of dying from heart disease. How to eat? 3 to 4 walnut halves per day, 1 ounce, 28 grams, best consumed in the morning or an hour before bedtime. Eat raw or lightly roasted at low temperatures to preserve omega-3 oils. Tips: walnut oils go rancid quickly. Store them in the fridge and use within 2 to 3 months after opening. Avoid eating more than 50 grams per day to prevent diarrhea or weight gain. 3. Pistachios, blood pressure regulator and eye protector. Key benefits: high in potassium and vitamin B6, pistachios help balance blood pressure and improve circulation. Contain carotenoids lutein and zeaxanthin, which protect the eyes and reduce the risk of age-related macular degeneration. Their protein and fiber help manage weight and lower blood sugar. Pistachios are naturally portion-controlled, since you need to shell them, helping avoid overeating. Scientific research. Hypertension Journal. Seniors eating 40 grams of pistachios daily lowered systolic blood pressure by an average of 8 millimeters of Hg in 6 weeks. NIH study. Carotenoids in pistachios reduce the risk of age-related eye disease by 30%. How to eat? 1 ounce, approximately 49 pistachios, per day as a mid-morning or afternoon snack. Choose unsalted pistachios, avoid sugar-coated or flavored varieties. Tips: seniors with kidney issues should consult a doctor before eating large amounts due to pistachios' high potassium content. Chew thoroughly to prevent choking.
4. Brazil nuts, a selenium powerhouse for thyroid and anti-aging. Key benefits: Brazil nuts are the richest natural source of selenium, essential for converting thyroid hormones and regulating metabolism. Selenium shields cells from oxidative stress, slowing aging and supporting nerve function. Helps maintain stable mood and energy, easing fatigue linked to thyroid imbalances. Scientific research. Cornell University. Seniors supplementing selenium from Brazil nuts improved thyroid function by 50% in just 3 months. Australian study. Eating just 2 Brazil nuts per day for 12 weeks reduced inflammation and improved telomere protection, the caps that guard DNA against aging. How to eat. Only 1 to 2 Brazil nuts daily, about 200 micrograms of selenium, is enough. Sprinkle on salads or blend into smoothies. Eat raw or lightly roasted. Avoid overeating to prevent selenium toxicity. Tips. Seniors with thyroid issues or taking hormone medications should check with their doctor first. Store Brazil nuts in the refrigerator to keep selenium levels stable and oils fresh. Summary. These 4 nuts work together perfectly. Almonds, strong bones and healthy heart. Walnuts, brain protection and better sleep. Pistachios, balanced blood pressure and eye health. Brazil nuts, thyroid support and anti-aging benefits. Eating a small mix of these nuts daily can help seniors over 65 improve heart health, memory, and vision, maintain strong muscles and bones, boost energy and mental clarity.
4 nuts seniors over 65 should avoid. Not every nut is a superfood for healthy aging. Some contain toxins, cause inflammation, interfere with medications, or worsen chronic conditions. Here are 4 types of nuts older adults should limit or completely avoid. Number 1. Peanuts. Not a true nut, loaded with hidden toxins. Why avoid? Peanuts are actually legumes, not tree nuts, easily contaminated with aspergillus mold, producing aflatoxins that build up in the liver, damage liver cells, and increase the risk of liver cancer. High in omega-6 fats, which promote joint inflammation, muscle aches, heart disease, and memory decline. Contain vitamin K, which can dangerously interfere with blood-thinning medications, causing bleeding or blood clots. Research. CDC. Aflatoxin from peanuts is linked to 28% of liver cancer cases in older adults. Diets high in omega-6 increase chronic inflammation risk by 35% in arthritis patients. Better alternative? Choose almonds or pistachios for plant-based protein without harmful toxins. If you must eat peanuts, pick organic, aflatoxin-tested peanuts and eat in very small amounts. Number 2. Cashews. Tasty, but harmful to blood sugar and bone health. Why avoid? Cashews are high in carbohydrates, causing blood sugar spikes dangerous for people with diabetes or prediabetes. Contain oxalates that block calcium absorption, leading to osteoporosis and kidney stones. Enzyme inhibitors in cashews make protein harder to digest. Processing methods, roasting, steaming, can leave behind chemicals and reduce nutritional value. Research. American Diabetes Association. Cashews have a higher glycemic index than most nuts, raising blood sugar by 20 to 30% after meals. Harvard study. High oxalate intake increases kidney stone risk by 40%. Better alternative. Eat almonds or walnuts instead for better blood sugar control and stronger bones. If you enjoy cashews, limit to less than 10 nuts per week and drink plenty of water. 3. Macadamia nuts. High calorie, hard to digest, and not heart-friendly. Why avoid? The most calorie-dense nut, rich in saturated fat, promotes weight gain and raises LDL cholesterol. Seniors with weaker gallbladders have trouble digesting large amounts of fat, causing bloating, gallbladder pain, or even pancreatitis. Often expensive, leading people to buy lower-quality macadamias where oils have gone rancid, producing inflammatory compounds that may harm vision and increase the risk of age-related macular degeneration. Research. American Heart Association. Regular macadamia eaters had 12% higher LDL cholesterol than those eating almonds or walnuts. Seniors consuming macadamias daily reported 30% more cases of indigestion or gallbladder discomfort. Better alternative.
Choose pistachios or Brazil nuts to get healthy fats and minerals without excess calories or digestion issues. 4. Pine nuts. Drug interactions and metallic taste disorder. Why avoid? Contain enzyme inhibitors that block nutrient and medication absorption. Interact with common senior medications, blood pressure drugs, blood thinners, antidepressants. Can trigger pine nut sickness, a bitter, metallic taste lasting days to weeks, reducing appetite and overall nutrition. Pine nut oils oxidize easily, forming inflammatory compounds that may harm vision and increase the risk of age-related macular degeneration.
Research. FDA. Hundreds of reported cases of pine nut sickness lasting up to 2 weeks, mostly in adults over 60. Seniors with taste disorders after eating pine nuts consumed 25 to 40% less food, leading to hidden malnutrition. Better alternative? Replace pine nuts with walnuts or almonds for anti-inflammatory benefits without drug interactions or taste issues. Summary: the 4 nuts to avoid are peanuts, cashews, macadamias, and pine nuts. They can contain toxins, cause inflammation, disrupt digestion, and interfere with medications, posing extra risks for older adults. Instead, choose almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts to protect heart health, brain function, bones, and thyroid balance. Safe eating guide and tips for choosing the right nuts. Knowing which nuts are good and which to avoid is only the first step. To fully benefit from the 4 golden nuts, almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts, seniors over 65 must also choose, store, and eat them correctly. How to choose high-quality nuts. Pick raw or shell-on nuts with no added salt or sugar. Salted nuts increase sodium intake, water retention, and high blood pressure. Sugar-coated nuts raise diabetes and inflammation risks. Check freshness and expiration dates. Old nuts are prone to mold and rancid oils, which can damage the liver and digestive system. Choose organic when possible. Reduces exposure to pesticides and chemical preservatives. Smell for rancid oils. Nuts with a bitter or sharp odor have oxidized and should not be eaten.
Proper storage. Nut oils oxidize easily when exposed to light, heat, and air. Store nuts in an airtight container in a cool, dark place or the refrigerator to preserve nutrients and flavor. If buying in bulk, divide into weekly portions to avoid repeated exposure to air and spoilage. Ideal daily portion. Seniors should eat 1 to 1.4 ounces, 30 to 40 grams, of mixed nuts daily, about a small handful. A balanced mix: 10 to 12 almonds, 3 to 4 walnut halves, 20 to 25 pistachios, 1 to 2 Brazil nuts. Never exceed 3 days to avoid selenium overdose. Split into 2 small snacks, mid-morning and afternoon, for easier digestion instead of eating all at once. Mixing the Golden 4 nuts. DIY weekly mix: 2.5 ounces, 70 grams, of almonds, 1.8 ounces, 50 grams, of walnuts, 2.1 ounces, 60 grams, of pistachios, 0.35 ounces, 10 grams, of Brazil nuts. Mix well and split into 7 small portions, 1 for each day. Optional, add a small handful of raisins or unsweetened dried cranberries for extra antioxidants and flavor. Safe nut eating tips. Chew thoroughly. Seniors are more prone to choking. Chewing well or using nut butter makes swallowing safer. Pair with vegetables or fruit. Dietary fiber aids fat digestion. Stay hydrated. Minerals and collagen in nuts absorb better with enough water. Avoid eating right before bed. Nut fats digest slowly, which can cause bloating and disrupt sleep. Results you can expect after just 4 to 6 weeks of eating the golden mix daily. Cholesterol and blood pressure can noticeably drop. Joints feel more flexible with less inflammation and pain. Memory sharpens, sleep improves, and mental clarity increases. Recap. We've explored 4 golden nuts seniors should eat daily to boost heart health, memory, thyroid function, and bone strength. 4 nuts to avoid because they contain toxins, cause inflammation, spike blood sugar, impair digestion, and interact with medications. Key message: not every nut is a superfood for older adults. Choosing the right nuts, eating the right amount, and properly storing and mixing them can sharpen the brain. Omega-3s and polyphenols in walnuts protect brain cells and lower Alzheimer's risk. Strengthen the heart. Almonds and pistachios reduce bad cholesterol and stabilize blood pressure. Protect bones. Magnesium, calcium, and selenium from Brazil nuts support bones and thyroid health. Soothe inflammation. Healthy fats and antioxidants fight chronic inflammation and joint pain. Harvard research: seniors eating the right nuts 5 times per week had 35% lower risk of heart disease, 20% better memory, and lived 2 to 3 years longer. Start today. Step 1. Cut out or significantly reduce peanuts, cashews, macadamias, and pine nuts from your diet. Step 2. Buy and store the 4 golden nuts: almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts. Step 3. Prepare your 7-day nut mix as outlined for easy daily use. Step 4. Stick with it for at least 6 to 8 weeks while tracking improvements in blood pressure, memory, joint comfort, and energy levels. Share your journey. Which nuts do you eat most often? After watching this video, which nut will you swap out first to protect your health? Leave a comment below to share your experience and learn from other seniors who are improving their health naturally through smart eating. Like, subscribe, and upcoming videos. If you found this helpful, hit like to support the channel and help other seniors discover these life-changing tips. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss upcoming videos on nutrition, healthy living, and tips for staying active and independent after 60. Final thought. Remember, age does not define your quality of life. Choosing the right nuts and making small daily dietary changes can bring big improvements. Lower heart disease risk, sharper memory and stronger joints, mental clarity and better mobility. Start today with just 1 handful of the right nuts. You're holding the key to lasting health and longevity.